with the Isle of Man Vicar, walking by the sea, sharing tales and laughter. Come along with me. Morning dew is shining, seagulls call and flee.
So I'm starting off the car today. Do the introductions first. My name's the Reverend Simon Archer. I am the priest in charge of the parish of Arbury in Castletown. I'm also known as the Isle of Man Vicar. And we're heading up to South Barrule. Now, we've been to South Barrule a couple of times before. But first of all, I thought we'd drive up there, get an idea of how close it is, really, to get to South Barrule. And to kind of a sense of the size of the island, I think is quite helpful. So we'll do this. I'm not sure. I might speed it up a little bit, so we get an idea of how close things are. Or rather speed it up so you don't have to sit there watching me drive for 5-10 minutes, whatever it is. Probably about a little bit longer than that, probably about 10 minutes. But what time is it now? 1:15, 14 minutes past 1. So we're going to, God, a couple of times I keep forgetting to use my indicator. It must be something to do about being in a BMW. So yeah, I wanted to go up to South Barrule today. One of the reasons is that it's kind of decimated at the moment. The storms at the beginning of the year kind of feel strange because we're kind of heading in towards the end of the year now. That last quarter of the year, as we are now, September. So today's September the 2nd, and we're heading into that part of the year. As it's definitely got a bit grayer and a bit cooler, but I mean that was our summer last year, so I'm not complaining too much. We had a really good summer, but yeah, I thought we had storms earlier in the year, and it was pretty awful. I've got a motorbike behind me, and he's very close to the back of me. I don't like that. He's going to overtake in a minute, I get that, but he's driving so close. Don't mind motorbikes overtaking, no problem at all, but when you're driving sort of 6 foot away from my back bumper, crazy. There you go. And me and the car in front are doing the speed limit. The van in front. Yeah, so we had some storms at the beginning of the year, and on the island we lost a lot of trees, and a lot of the plantations. One of the explanations of that is that the trees around the outside of the plantation kind of protect the trees within the plantation because they're very same species. Planted quite close together, they don't have the best roots, and what happens is the trees on the outside have a bit more space, light, that sort of thing, so they end up with stronger roots, so they generally are stronger and protect the rest of the plantation, and the trees inside have got lesser roots, aren't as strong. What the storm did is it came from an odd direction, and it took out some of the trees on the borders of the plantations, and without that protection, the weaker trees were then quite easily knocked down. So you got a lot of damage done. Now, what's happened after that is that they've arranged for there to be felling on the plantations, because the plantations, I think, were about 20-30 years past when they should have really been cut down anyway. So they are plantations. So think of them like fields. I've said this before on videos. They're like fields of crops. They need to be cut down and harvested. But this kind of forced their hand. And they actually worked out a deal with, I think it was a UK company, but they're exporting a heck of a lot of wood. Some wood will be used to the island, but a lot of logs are being exported and they're making money. So apparently, so that's good. But it does change the landscape quite a lot. So you can go and look at old videos of South Barrule. I've done them in the snow, on different times when I've walked up there. And we've had times where we couldn't go very far because of the barriers up, so you couldn't get very far at all. So barriers because they were, after the storms, they were felling trees and clearing paths. I don't think there's much clear at the moment, but they're nearly finished a lot of their work. So what I thought we'd do is we'd head up to South Barrule and we'd have a look at the work that's taken place and kind of how decimated the landscape looks and how different it looks from previous videos. So it'll be worth a peek at it. A lot of people are quite upset about it, and I think that comes from you're used to having all these pretty trees and it'd be nice walk paths and mountain bikes, mountain bikes riding through these beautiful plantations. But the truth is that those weren't ideal for them to still not be harvested, and it's just been a lot of destruction from the storms and a lot of harvesting all taking place at the same time. So yeah, we're heading up to South Barrule, straight out of Castletown, past Maloo Church on Church Bends. Church Bends is known as Church Bends because it's part of the course, the racing course for the Southern 100 and the classic motorbike races. So that's one part of that course. But yeah, we're going to head up. I don't know where. I haven't decided yet. Let's just drop it down. I haven't decided yet whether to make a brew. I've got the stuff with me to make a brew. I think I've got everything with me. I generally keep it packed, ready to go. Beautiful along here. Can't remember the name of them. We've got these in our back garden, but the beautiful red flowers. Always good in the chat if you can, in the comments, that you tell me what everything is that I can't remember the name of. And yeah, so we'll have a little drive up here, and I'm talking now, but you never know, you might get speeded up and a load of music. I haven't decided yet, but I think this is called Balamoda Strait. So it goes up to, it goes 40 there, then 50, and then it goes up to unrestricted, which, as I've said before, in the Isle of Man means you can go as fast as it's safe for you to do so. Not as fast as you can, not as fast as your vehicle could possibly go in a straight line. If your tyres are terrible and your brakes are bad, still chances are you can have an accident. So the idea is that you still drive safely. So I'm driving at the 50 at the moment, and then and then it becomes unrestricted here. You'll have people who put their foot right down. I've been overtaken on here many a time, but strictly speaking, here I could travel at 100 miles an hour, no problem at all, and it'll be fine. Actually, there's a couple of straights here which are really clear, and you can see quite a long distance ahead of yourself, so you could get up to some speeds, but you still got to remember there's like side turn-ins and people can pull out, and animals. I saw someone nearly hit a chicken yesterday, because you often get like chickens and ducks and things near the side of the road, and a car behind me almost hit a chicken. So yeah, you've got to be a little bit careful. Doesn't mean driving like a maniac all the time, but yeah, you get cars, honestly, passing me by in the other direction. I see cars going stupidly fast, and I'm just passing some of the work that's been done. You probably won't be able to see it on the camera, I don't know, I'm not looking at the camera, I'm just recording. I think I'm recording anyway. I hope I'm recording, otherwise I've been talking to myself for the last few minutes. It's 22 minutes past, so we left at 14 minutes past. There's been 8 minutes and we're virtually here. I'm going to turn off, go to South Barrule Forest Park, and yeah, I wasn't sure whether to make a brew or to potentially go into the Coffee Cottage and get something to eat there, get something to drink there, sorry, grab a coffee there. They must have been having a bit of a rough time really, with a lot of stuff closed. I'll say this car always feels a bit kind of interesting, shall we say, with the parking, because it's a bit of a, oh, I can see it already. So we are here. So yeah, I've just come into the, let's make sure that's focused on me, that's better. Come into just the bottom end of the South Barrule Park, or the plantation. Yeah, I'll show you in a moment, but it's looking pretty cleared out now. I know they're going to come into the ends of the works that they're doing, but yeah, it's be nice to get along and kind of walk it again. I've looked at the signs. There's nothing to say you can't walk it or can't go to it. I guess some parts will be closed, and some parts they're saying beware, kind of lorries turning and stuff like that. So I'm guessing it's still got access. But I'm just like a little bit cautious about heading towards any areas where it's been, you know, they're trying to work. You know, they're trying to get this done so people can actually use it. So. But maybe we'll have a quick nose a little bit further up. But yeah, it's really taken a hit. So yeah, should we have a look? Should we have a wander? Sad though it may be. Let's turn this camera around. And what we'll do is we'll just adjust the camera a bit. All right. So yeah, this is it. Have a little wander. That's the sort of Go 8 place. It's got loads of kids playing at the moment, which is great. You can see them doing some business. I might pop to the Coffee Cottage. It's good to support them because, like I say, with a lot of this going on, a lot of it having been closed, it's probably taken a bit of a hit, I imagine. It's the huge log piles. Lots of signs saying don't climb on the log piles. Don't do that, understandably. My back's giving me some jip at the moment, so I'm gonna, yeah, bad back is back. So it says, please obey all directions. Stop, UFO stop, do not go further. There we go. So this is where we're going to stop. So I filmed kind of somewhere up there before when we had snow. I slipped over then actually. Can't show you too much here, but maybe I'll be able to give you some aerial views of the works that have been going on. Get the drone out or something. But still a beautiful place. But it's taken a hit. So as I say, this is big chunk of this is just where there was storm damage, and then they went, right, we need to clear this. So they got rid of the storm damaged trees to clear paths, and then they harvested the wood and cleared a lot of the rest of it, because those trees that were left that weren't surrounded by trees on the edge were like, you know, something like this, where it might have stronger roots because it's on the outside. Those could be left, but a lot of the ones on the inside will just blow over at the next storm, and we'll get some storms this winter, no doubt. We usually do. Looks like we can walk this way a bit, so we'll try walking this way a bit. Seen some dog walkers up ahead that probably walk this regularly, so they might know how much further is open. You do get that smell though, do you know when people have been cutting wood? Like the smell of the cut timber. And as we were coming in, we had to wait for a logging truck to go through, one that's picking up the timber to be taken away. But when you see those logs that are there, they must have taken some away already. Some further up had already been harvested, because we've definitely caught. When we've been up there before, we've sat on, you know, stumps of logs and stuff that have been cut. I just think this forced them to go a little bit more intensely. Hello. You're very vocal, aren't you? Very vocal. I've got a very vocal dog. It's not with me. Hello. No, it's all right. Mine's the same. Barks at everything, but then one day no one could come near the house or walk past the house without barking. But she didn't realise I'd come home one day. I opened the door and she ran up the stairs. So she's not a very good guard dog.
That's interesting.
Oh, that's my. So I've got a little camera. Yeah, I've got a little camera. It's on a gimbal, so it floats and so it keeps a steady shot.
Oh, wow.
And I've just got it on a little selfie stick thing, so I walk around with that taking videos. It was actually, but I do a lot of filming, so yeah, do a lot of videos on the island. Just coming up here, it's been a while since with all the work they've been doing here.
What sort of filming do you do?
So I do stuff. So I've got no, that's all right. Yeah. I've got a YouTube channel, so you can see I'm Vicar. Down in Castletown, Arbury and Castletown.
Right.
But I do filming around the island. I do some stuff for the church as well and for the diocese, but I kind of just explore because we've only been here a couple of years, and I make videos showing all the different places people can visit. But I did some filming up here when we had the snow, and before that, before the storms.
What's the YouTube called?
It's Isle of Man Vicar.
Oh, check it out.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I'll like and subscribe.
Thank you very much. Yes, I've just hit 500 subscribers, so it's yesterday. So, but yeah, I enjoy. It's a good reason for me to get out and get a walk in as well. So I go to all sorts of places, hike around all parts of the island, beaches and trying to check out the glens at the moment.
You like Ballaglass then?
I haven't seen it's on my list, so I've got to do Doon Glen, Ballaglass, Glen. Did did Glen Helen recently, which was lovely.
Nothing like Ballaglass.
Just a lovely conversation, which I will edit out because I've just asked if I'd edit it out, so that's absolutely fine. A nice little conversation with some couple of ladies who are here walking their dogs, and yeah, just talking about the different places you can visit and things like that. I get loads of people asking me, well, telling me about places I should go to when I'm out on walks, which is great. And they mention about how they're going to go back to the Coffee Cottage for a coffee. So I think I'll do the same probably. But let's give you a little bit of an idea where we are. See if there you go. You get an idea. It's a nice day today actually. We've had plenty of rain. Plenty of rain in the last few days, and bit of sunshine today. But it's been so dry. I'm sure everyone's been keen to get some rain on their gardens and on their lawns and on the grass, and farmers probably needed a bit of it. I don't know. Trouble is, you don't want it nothing for ages and then torrential. It just runs off, or it floods, or it gets awful. So hopefully a bit of rain's helped out a little bit. I don't know. We're getting into pumpkin season soon. There's a guy, I wish I'd knew his TikTok, Pumpkin Isle of Man or something like that. Pumpkin IOM. He's got a TikTok. He does lots of farming and stuff. He keeps and grows loads of pumpkins, amongst other stuff. So you can go pick your own. Now, I've been watching for signs, but it looks all right at the moment. But yeah, just nice. Needed to get out today. I haven't had a proper walk. There was no video on. Came out Friday because I hadn't been out to do anything. Or I've been out a little bit, but it was with the family and kind of doing some bits and bobs with them before they go back to school and college. So yeah, we'll keep the walk short and sweet today, and then we'll head back. There's no point going too much further because, to be honest with you, that'll all be closed up there, no doubt. I don't know. Maybe we can have a peek and see how much is closed. That might be helpful to some people. But yeah, so my eldest daughter passed her English GCSE. She was doing a retake and did that. So she's got all what she needs now for whatever she decides to do next. And my youngest daughter, got 2 boys, 2 girls. My youngest daughter got the qualification she needed. And on the day she got her GCSE results, she decided, actually, she was going to go to sixth form all the way through. She decided to go to college instead. Like, they made her an offer. She got really excited about it and realised she was probably staying at sixth form to be close to friends and things, but she would be doing different courses anyway. And yeah, so that's closed. Yeah, decided actually she would go off to college. She's going to do forensic science and criminology. So just through there, you might see that they're working on stuff at the moment, probably picking up logs to put on the back of that truck that I saw come through. All closed down there. You walk up towards the house there. So yeah, let's find a spot. Maybe we can fly around a little bit and have a look and see what the rest of this is like. To charge my batteries this morning, so I know my batteries are charged on my controller and on my batteries for my drone. As you know, I've had issues where the batteries seem to lose charge over time if they're not, you know, you can't just leave them in the pack and when you go out next they've lost 20% of their charge or something. You don't get a massively long flight with the Neo, so perhaps one day they'll release improved batteries. That would be good. Same lightweight, but make them a little bit more longer lasting would be awesome. But yeah, so we're kind of heading back because there's not much else we can see here. We can't explore the rest of South Barrule. I am going to try and see what the weather's like this week and maybe head up to either Ballaglass or Doon Glen, because those are really nice spots. So let's find, there's a bench down here actually. I could actually sit on a bench and put my stuff down and look at that though. Blue skies mixed with clouds. Let's see if we can get up nice and high and have a look at the work that's been going on from above. I think that's probably the best shot we're going to get. But all the wood's being used, I must say that again. So what have I seen? So a couple of people saying about how, this is on social media, saying, oh, it's awful, they cut this all down, why are they doing it? So it's destroying the forests and things like that. You've got to remember this is what they were planted for. They weren't planted so they could be pretty. They were planted as a crop, to be used. I wonder if those benches will be under the tree, so I probably won't get as good a shot. So we might do this here. Just sit on a log. He says if he doesn't sink into it. Ah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So yeah, there's people have been complaining about it all looking awful, which it does. It looks like but then farmers' fields, when they've had corn and wheat, barley, whatever it is they've got growing in them, when they're all cut down, they look a bit forlorn. But that's just all part of it, really. So can't help that. And the other thing is people going, oh, waste, and but all the wood's being put to use. So there'll be some which will be processed here, a lot which will be processed off island. It's making a bit of an income, a bit of money's being made from it, which is only good. And I understand they're replanting. I don't know when or how they'll replant, but it's quite possible some of this replanting will happen with, I've heard rumour, I don't know how true this is, that they're looking to plant more native species. There won't be all these, whatever they are, pine evergreens, whatever they are, fast growing evergreen. They're going to plant with some more native species and mix it up a bit, which is really good for the ecosystem to have a mixed planting. So it's not all the same. Get some slow growing stuff in there, get a bit of a mixture. I think they're probably more useful these days anyway as sort of more tourists and leisure. So it might take 20 years, but get to the point where they actually are useful again. A little bit of me wondering where my car keys are, making sure I've got them still and they haven't fallen out my pocket. Whew. Never put them in your hoodie pocket. I've got them. Don't put them in your hoodie pocket because they slide out. I've got my phone in my hoodie pocket as well. But yeah, so I'm gonna stop here for a second and do some flying, so we can have a look at what it looks like from the air. And I'll be back to you in a bit as we walk along, I think, to the Coffee Cottage and have a little something a coffee to have in there, I think. So see if they are, as those ladies were telling me, the best coffee on the island. So I know it's good. So we've been in there a few times. So I'll catch you in a minute once I've been up with the drone. So we did a nice little flight on the drone. It's been nice. Obviously, yes, it gives you a better idea, hopefully now, of the kind of where it is at South Barrule, amount of work that's needed to be done. And don't forget, this is just one plantation. They've been doing work all over the island at various different places, and I'm hoping that I can get down to Doon Glen soon, which has got like a waterfall down there and a walk down to the beach, and there's other spots as well. I have sat on a log and covered myself in sap. I got it all over my jumper and my hands. Smells amazing though. Pine sap, absolutely lovely. So we're gonna have a little wander down to the Coffee Cottage. Everyone's meeting at the crossroads. Hello again. Yeah, I've been taking a few photos of all the work that's going on. It's a lovely chat with some people about the drone. Young lad talking about his uncle's drone and things like that, and fixing it because it's broken. It's lovely just stopping to chat to people. I always try and turn the camera off or edit it out, whatever needs to be done. But you know, but it's just now, if you're wondering about working and what a charmed life he lives, where he just doesn't do any work and just goes out walking. Remember that I couldn't get out at all last week. Also remember that this week on Monday I was working on a funeral that I probably could have got done a bit earlier, but I'd already met with them last Thursday and working on the order of service for that. So on my day off I was working. That's not unusual. Try not to. I've got sap on this now. I've got sap everywhere. Oh, it smells amazing though. I'm gonna get sap all over my car, aren't I? Know it. Nightmare to get off stuff. It's like glue. Got this nice jumper. Thankfully I've worn this a couple of times already, so I'm going to chuck it in the wash and not say anything. But beautiful. Oh, I heard the blackberries are out at the moment. We've got the blackberries out. The heather. Hey, look, whirrings of the motor on the camera. I was put it up to my ear then because I could hear it. I've never heard it before because it's so quiet. I love some of the views around here. Not going to go too off trail today though. I have got my new trail runners. These aren't expensive thingies, but they're my Hobby Bear trail runners. Sorry, they're just flat barefoot shoes. So as you can see, lots of people about South Barrule. I've had to stop a few times, families and stuff, but it is like back to school tomorrow. So I imagine some of that's because they're getting one last sort of family day out while the weather's nice and just before they go back to school. I've got one going back to school tomorrow and one going to college on Thursday. Yeah, I was saying about, so I balance everything out. There's times I'm working till midnight, times I'm working up at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm on a bit of a tight time scale for something, tight deadline. And the thing is, you can't, talking about well-being today in a meeting, we're starting like a well-being cafe. And you can't do is just continually pour out, and you can burn yourself out really easily, especially in ministry, honestly. And so got a lunch hour, let's take an hour out, maybe 2, and you might go, well, wish I could get 2 hours for my lunch, but are you then going to meetings at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night that run for 2-3 hours, getting home at 10:30, 11 o'clock, you know, and you're working all over the weekends, you're working your day off sometimes. Do you get one day off a week? I know people work much, much harder than me, but that's not what I'm saying. Just making it clear that I'm very comfortable with the time that I do work and the time that I use to restore myself, so to speak. Right, shall we go to the Coffee Cottage then? We'll give you a little tour of, this is the car park at South Barrule. Down the other end of the car park is my sports car. Oops. Plenty of parking. I've got caught out a couple of times. A lot of cars here actually. Good to see how busy Coffee Cottage is. But it isn't far from here. Cool. Right. So there is like a bit of a path here. So it's the only thing is that so you're on a road on a bend. We've got zip wires and climbing through the trees, absolutely awesome. Amazing some of the stuff we have on this island. Like, you know, it's called Ape Man, there you go. I can go Ape Man, double N. Oh, thank you. There is a bit of parking by Coffee Cottage. You can actually park right next to it if you're right about the roads. And they do have a log fire in there as well, which is quite nice when it gets a bit cooler. Mountain bikes, all sorts of tactical axe throwing, all sorts of bits and bobs goes on here. Those events, Halloween time, they do like a big Halloween event in the forest where, you know, lots of lights and mists and fogs and people dressed up all out here, kind of cool. Kids love that. Then we'll pop in here, we'll go grab a coffee. I'm not going to film inside, I don't think.
So, got my coffee from Can we have a look at that? Very nice. My flat white. Taste test time. Good. Trick with the flat white is to have something which is like a double shot. Should be strong. Shouldn't be like a small latte. Steamed milk still, but it should be a small size. So get a bit of strength to it and lovely. Really good coffee. So that's going to be about it, really. I'm going to sit here and enjoy this for a short while. Motorbike, a bit of a classic going past, I think, from the sound of that. Probably a Norton. Yeah, so drink this coffee, then I'll jump in the car and head back home and crack on, as they say. But hopefully a little recharge from my walk. Unnecessary beeping of the horn. There we go. But yeah, they do all sorts here. So up here they've got the Coffee Cottage, which is lovely. You've got South Barrule. You can do little bits of walks around it. It's not terrible. You can do little bits. So definitely still worth coming up for a bit of a walk. And then you've got Laser Mayhem. So they've got a bit like paintball, but with lasers, you know. Laser Mayhem, axe throwing. They've got, is it called Ape Man or something like that? Anyway. With all the climbing through the trees and stuff like that. So brilliant for like business trips, like, you know, the team building exercises and stuff like that. Brilliant for that sort of thing. And a shame to see so much devastation, but understanding that it's necessary to clear it all out now. Yeah, it is what it is, really. But yeah, I'm just going to relax here. So thank you for joining me on another walk. Should we make this more central so you've actually got me in it? Not that you want me in it, but... So take care. Take care of yourselves. More importantly, take care of each other. God bless. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Lovely.